10. John, welcome back, man. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mo.
Dude, so that was an awesome podcast we did, the first one.
It was. Got a lot of both positive and negative feedback.
And negative feedback. I got mostly positive, you know what I mean? No, man, I'd be preaching your episode 5 to everyone. I'm like, yo, if you have to listen to a podcast, listen to episode 5. You learn a lot. I learned a lot. And
Me too, man.
And I put it Joe Rogan worthy, like, you know what I mean? Like recording the episode, not to take away from anything other from my other episodes, but like I really enjoyed doing that one, and I learned a lot. And it's like I feel like how I feel when I do listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. I felt the same way recording it. I'm like, okay, this is how Joe Rogan feels. So
well, it was my pleasure to be a part of that. Joe Rogan worthy? I think so. I think definitely Joe Rogan worthy. In terms of feedback, yeah, I mean, like I discussed when we first came in here, man, like the people close to me, like my friends, oh, dude, you sound awesome. That was great. That's amazing.
My friends said the same thing about you. They're like, this, oh, damn, dude, his voice is perfect for a podcast. Like, yo, are you sure he's not on radio already? I'm like, as far as I know, no.
But then there's the family side of things, like we talked about before. You know?
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it. They couldn't just give it to me. They couldn't just let me have the win, you know? Like there had to be some sort of, well, yeah, you sounded great, but you made the family look a little negative, you know? And when I went back and listened to it, because I mean, I'm open to criticism. Like I'm constantly like, oh, did I do this? Did I do that wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm the
so
same
I went
way.
back over and over again and listened to it, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't trash my family that much, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know what I
just
mean?
talked
Like,
about the experiences to what went through.
this is it. But you know, people take things the way they want to, and you know what? I can't say that I'm surprised because I mean, their mindsets are their mindsets, and as we've discussed many times in the past, and as we will continuously in the future,
exactly.
that perspective is everything, and you know that's. No, go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Because perspectives, like you might be looking at something one way, but the other person will be standing maybe in front of you, but they don't see what you're seeing, right?
That's
and
right.
And they don't want like, no, I don't want to take the time to move over there and see what you're seeing. It's like because it's easier not to move.
You know, it's easier to judge from there. You know?
Exactly.
Like nobody wants to expose themselves. It's easier to just pass it on somebody else. You know?
Yeah. And like, you were explaining, growing up, you weren't really going out of your way to make anyone look bad. You just said the hardship that you went through and how you didn't let that affect you down. Because, I grew up with a lot of people, everyone, me too, everyone grew up in a certain way where there's something negative that happened in their life, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up with immigrant parents. They beat my ass, but but I deserve like half the ass whoopings. You know what I mean? It's just like, but it made me who I am.
And most of us do deserve that ass whooping. Like there are days when like I'm a father of 2 kids, and there are times I deserve an ass whooping, and I'm aware of this. Like none of us are safe from this, and that's what really gets me about judgment, about stigma, about anyone who's ready to point a finger. Because I'm sure that person pointing a finger at one point or another had a finger pointed at them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's human, and that's okay. You know, it's when we start to define ourselves through these things that things get jaded. You know, things get really weird and tense and negative, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, because then it becomes a mindset. Then it becomes an inability to see things in a different way. You know.
No, definitely. I agree with you 100%. And, perspectives, and I always talk about perspectives. And, sometimes people laugh like, what do you mean, man? Perspectives? Like, no. There's certain things, you have to try to understand from the other point of view. If you don't, you get kind of blinded by your ignorance. And
100%.
It's like let's try to understand before we jump the barrel. Because it's so easy to jump the barrel before getting the full picture. Because I remember reading this so like my favorite author, I think I was talking about animation, like One Piece, what I love reading. It's an amazing story. And there was this one part where the author did like 100 chapters and introduced so many different characters, and I know me and other people that I see reviews of, and we're all like, oh my God, why are they introducing all these characters? But we didn't let the painter or the author finish his canvas, you know what I mean? Let him finish the full after the 100 chapters came to a close, we understood the beauty of the whole, why it took so long, why all these characters were introduced. Then we finally understood the beauty he wanted to. So, let the person finish what he's doing before we jump, and let's try to understand what's going on, because it's so easy. It's really easy. I do it all the time. It happens. I try not to, but we make these predetermined judgments before everything's finished. Let's try to understand what's going on. Maybe it's not right. Maybe we might not like it at the end. At least we took the time to analyze the full situation, right?
That's it. And life is gearing us more and more towards this instant gratification type situation. Like, even like down to workouts. There's a 9-minute workout now. Like, how is that even feasible? Like, how can you even call something that takes 9 minutes a workout? Like, but that's what we've done nowadays. We've tried to make things smaller and more pill-like, in a sense that you just pop it and no work needed. Just thank you very much, and here you go.
Yeah.
And that boiled over to how we judge people, how we make assumptions. The fact that we do make assumptions.
Like a snap of a finger.
Exactly. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. You make an assumption, and then once once the whole picture plays out, oh my God, like I got that whole thing wrong.
And how many times has that happened in relationships? And we think we know someone after a year of dating someone. We think we know someone, and pop, they do something crazy, and it's like, I didn't see that coming. But I've been them for over a year. Yeah, but how much time have you really spent getting to know this person for that year? Like, how much of that was quality time?
Exactly.
Like, it spills over into everything we do. Everything's a shortcut. Everything's a detour. Everything's trying to find an easy way out, and unfortunately, there are no easy way outs.
No, exactly. And those shortcuts you're talking about, when something goes so fast, you don't even get to see everything that was happening in between.
That's right.
And that's why we lose sight of and we make those assumptions. We lose sight of all that. If you actually take the time to look through it and look through the journey, you could pinpoint everything that was going through that process. But if it's a shortcut, what's there to pinpoint when it just happened in a snap of a finger?
And why are we in such a goddamn hurry all the time?
Yeah.
Like, where are we going? We're like, seriously, like,
it's true. Where are we going?
Where are we going? What are we doing? Like, we're waiting for the next iPhone. We're waiting for the next season of Game of Thrones. We're waiting for the next NFL season to start. Like, what?
And we don't take time to appreciate now. We're looking forward to the next thing. Like, we lose sight of what we have now instead of looking forward to the next thing.
It's crazy. Like all those people in Vegas, and that concert, like. It's crazy to put that into perspective. Like,
that whole situation, and I know I was watching a lot of things. Trevor Noah was talking about it.
God bless him, by the way.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh, I love Trevor Noah.
Yeah, and I think you probably seen it too when he was talking about the gun control.
Mm-hmm.
They're like this. Oh, so when. Like this, what was the joke? He's like this. When my mom used to beat me, it's like this. I didn't ask my mom. Analyze the situation before you beat me. It's like they were missing the whole point of why.
That's right.
It's like I think I butchered this joke. Do you remember, John?
I do.
Okay,
Totally remember.
I'll let you say it. But I'm messing it up.
I'm loving you. I'm not letting you hang out there. I'm loving this guy.
I need backup.
This table just got so much bigger. You know what I'm saying?
I need backup, John. You can't leave me here drowning in my own bullshit.
Oh, my apologies, everybody. My apologies.
I know. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. Okay, John, you want to tell the story before I butcher it?
No, it's okay.
And
man.
I discredit Trevor Noah.
They got the story, man. I think they know the story.
But anyways, they're trying to move it away from not gun control. Like, oh, it's hotel security. It's hotel's fault.
Yes.
It's all that happened.
That's right.
But no, let's forget about our guns. It's like, wait, what? It's like, no, it happened because of, it's a crazy person, first of all. It's like,
is it though? Is it though?
Like, what do you mean?
And that will, though.
But like, why? You just went.
Why
take other people's lives? Why would you go through that?
So why exactly? Let's follow that question a little further back. Why? Why would he do that? Why would a man with so much money?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Guy's got 2 planes. Guy's got no need for like any type of involvement in this type of situation, yet goes and does something
inhumane,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And I use the word crazy because the circumstances around it are just almost film-like.
Yeah.
I mean, this is almost like an Ocean's 11 skit, you know, like, or smoking aces type environment.
Yeah.
You know, like the glass was so thick, the guns were so big. How does he do this without security finding out?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there are so many questions to be answered here. And,
yeah, I know.
and yet, all we're concerned with is gun control.
Gun control.
Gun control.
True.
Gun control. Yet, people kill people.
Yeah.
Guns don't kill people.
People kill people.
People kill
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? Bullets kill people. Guns don't kill people. Bullets kill people. You know, like let's really grip onto that for a second. You know, like Australia had its last gun massacre in like the mid 80s and banned guns ever since and hasn't had a single incident. I mean, yeah, does gun control work? Definitely. Is gun control the solution? No. No, because crazy's still out there.
Crazy's still out there.
I mean, in Edmonton, the man had no gun,
Yeah.
yet found a U-Haul truck and a knife and did some serious damage.
And then was it in London where I can't remember with the truck. When the truck was it with you? Was it in London?
I believe so.
Yeah, and when he just drove over all those innocent people.
And again, London's a perfect example. London is, even the cops are gunless.
Yeah.
There are no guns in London. Every corner's got a video camera,
Yeah.
but there are no guns.
Yeah.
But there still manages to be attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because guns are not, yes, gun control is needed. I'm not going to disagree with that. I totally agree with that, 100%. Because of the situation that we're in, gun control is needed. But is gun control the solution? No.
No. There's other solutions,
Yes.
but me, sadly, I don't know what the other solutions are. But it's just
emotions, man. People do. And anybody that does anything that's out of the ordinary, or for lack of a better term, radicalized or terrorist-like or extreme, is all emotion-based.
Yeah.
It's all emotion-based. Everything we do is emotion-based. If it doesn't fit in that square little box that's every day 9 to 5, it's emotion-based. And that's what you have to stand in from. That's where you have to really start to open the door to and go, okay, like these are the questions we really have to ask. Problem is, nobody wants the answers to these questions because they're the real answers. They're the real reasons why people are doing things the way they're doing them. And that's why I did these picks.
Yeah.
Was to express the fact that it doesn't matter how tough you are on the outside, it doesn't matter how much you've got going on. If you're hurting, if you're wounded, if you're then you're done. It doesn't matter who you are. Why does Chester Bennington kill himself? Why does Paddock open up on hundreds of people in Vegas?
Yeah.
Emotion.
Nah, it sucks that he went and killed himself after, because we couldn't understand what happened, right?
But again,
because for me it's it's one of those sensitive topics when I think what you were trying to say. It's we're afraid to ask these questions.
Afraid.
Because it's so sensitive to the topic. It's because a lot of lives, bless everyone that passed away. All my prayers out there for everyone's family.
Big time.
But I know prayers alone can't do anything.
No.
And like you said, we have to find ways to help these emotional imbalances, and try to find ways how to help people.
That's what it is, man. When you see these court cases, when after these mass murderings happen, and you see these people in court, and they're humanized because they're just sitting there. They're no longer terrorizing. They're no longer on the news with a frantic face. No, they've been in jail for the past 2-3 years. Now they're sitting there like a human being, and all you see is the emotion, and that's always what ends up coming out from these situations, is remorse, is emotion, or the lack of it. But that's what we're always looking for. The court systems, the justice. What do we want to see? We want to see emotion. We want to see somebody feel. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
No, because we call it, I'm speechless because I can't say it better than you did, right? Because I'm learning. I'm learning a lot, because this, I always try to make an understanding of different situations and try to understand to my best of my ability. And like you were saying, emotion is, a lot of times we do everything on emotions instead of thinking. Thinking and emotions are not the same thing.
No.
Two different things.
Completely different things.
I don't know how to explain it properly, but I know they're two different things. Because so many times, let's say, okay, I road rage. Somebody cuts me off. I'm not thinking. I'm just like, what the F, man? Dude, don't. I'm like, yo, you didn't even put your flasher on. What's going on? But, it's instincts, It's
for sure.
It's emotion, but then after, it happens, I think I'm like, okay, there's no point of me yelling because it
Nope.
didn't really prove it. You know, the guy could even hear me cussing him out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And me just getting angry for no reason. It was because I wasn't thinking. I was just going on emotions.
Yeah.
If I had thought about it, okay, whatever, I didn't get hurt. I'm still on my way. Nothing happened. Because now I'm thinking about the situation. And now I'm not letting emotions take over. So I think that's my best example to give. Emotions and thinking, right?
For sure. But I mean, it's a ripple effect. And on a small scale, yeah, you know, we can brush that off and be like, okay, guy's having a bad day, whatever. Don't make a big deal of it, you know. But what if that person that cut you off, or what if you were not that person? What if it was somebody who was frantic, who was having an insane day, who's stressed out, who is at their wits, whose spouse is about to leave them, whose kids are you know, traumatized, and that little cutoff makes that person snap.
Yeah.
And that's completely plausible. Like this has happened. These things do happen.
No, it does.
You know? And that ripple effect is what's the problem with emotion.
Yeah.
You know, the small ones, as you described, is that if we can have a chance to blow it off and be like, oh, no big deal. It's okay, you know, and then great.
But it piles on.
This is the problem with it. And it piles on and it piles on and it piles on from all different aspects of our lives.
Till the cap gets so full and
then someone does something erratic.
Yeah. And I exactly agree. Because I remember when like growing up with my brother, me and my brother would always fight. But I was the calm brother, and my brother might disagree, but I was the relaxed one. We could ask my parents. I was always the calm one. My brother would always be breaking my things. Maybe because I didn't let him play with something or whatever, and it would just pile on. You know, I wouldn't really, you know. And this is when we were younger, much younger, and you know, okay, at first, whatever, keep letting it slide. I'll be mad, and you know, be mad, whatever. Let him, and it kept piling on. Then there'd be a point where, no, whatever. Then I'd get super mad, and then just beat him up, and then boom, 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 and then after that, then we just stopped talking for a couple of days, and then later I calm him down again. But he's still on me again and bothering me again, going through the same thing till I reached that point where, just go on my reaction, just fight my brother, beat him up, and and then start over from zero again. I'm not mad no more, and it just keeps building up till it gets to that where the boiling point, bam, and then I think it's something similar like that. What do you mean? But yeah, but there's so many different aspects, but my way around it. Like, forget about my brother and those incidents, but like now, older, we're getting older, we're trying to understand more. It's hard for many people to understand, but you have to try to get some emotional control. Your mind is a very powerful thing. I remember I would tell people, if you're feeling mad, just forget about it. It gets hard to forget about things because your mind just keeps working and working, and you're trying to find a way to relax your mind, to not let it overwork and let your emotions take over. Because I remember working customer service, and I didn't realize how much it affected me till like a lot later. Like when I first started, I'm like, oh, this job is awesome, I don't mind it, I'm making a better money than I was making before, I'm not scripted. And then after a while, I'm just like 8 months after 8 months, I'm like, okay, oh my god, I can't deal with people complaining. Then I'll come home, and then maybe my brother and sister would start telling me something. Guys, get to the point. I'm just like, I didn't have no more patience. But I was just like, okay, I stopped doing customer service, so that's good. So I'm like, okay, now I have my patience again.
Now take that and multiply that by like 30 million people.
Yeah.
Like, I know that sounds small, but if you take that and everyone's doing something that's making them more and more miserable, just for money, because that's what we're doing it for. Yeah. I mean, we're not going there for the best of our health or because we're gung ho. That's the truth. That's the truth. So take that and multiply that by 3 million, by 4 million, by 30 million, by 300 million. Like, all it takes is that one little to ignite, and then boom, and that's where the government wants us. That's where we see, as children, we're never taught to address our emotions.
Yeah.
Ever, even and no part in the rite of passage, if you want to call it, of growing up, are we taught to address our emotions. We're taught to behave. We're taught to learn, but we're never taught to sit down and how to feel, and that it's okay to feel, and that boys should be allowed to feel, and boys can cry, and it's okay if a boy cries, or if it's okay if a girl wants to play soccer, if she wants to play foot, like, you know what I mean? Like, these are the type of small type of brainwashing that has been done to us over just like hundreds of years, and if we can get away from that slowly, we have a chance.
Yeah.
But that's where we go wrong. I mean, we're taught to share as children our whole lives. You got to share, you got to share, you got to share. Then in adolescence, it's all about you.
Yeah.
It's all about the I. It's all about the me. It's all about the, well, there's a bit of a misconstrue there, like there's a bit of a disconnect. It's like, wait a minute. I was taught to be nice and share, and now it's all about being not nice and sharing.
And just have food on my plate and no one else.
That's right. And it's like, where's the medium there? How do you make that translate? Like, and where do your emotions lie in that? Where do you stop thinking about other people? Because that's what sharing is about. Sharing is about thinking about other people's situations. Being self-centered is not thinking about other people's situations. So there's going to be a disconnect there. There's going to be a situation where the brain goes, okay, whoa, like, what are we doing here? Like, the format to which you told us to operate no longer functions anymore. Like, how are we supposed to, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just, well, here it is. And if you want money to survive, this I have to be, and boom, that's that. And it divides us.
Yeah, it divides us for sure. And then because then everyone gets so focused on what I'm going to eat and forget about what he's going to eat, what she's going to eat. We keep forgetting about that. Then we lose sight of the sharing. It's true, because when we're younger, we share. But I agree with you completely. Growing up, we were never taught how we're supposed to feel.
There you go.
It's like if a boy cried, what, it's so easy to label them. Oh, you're a bitch, you're a pussy. What I mean? It's so easy to say that. And if a girl plays sports or anything, oh, what, you're a guy, you can't do this. Like, girls are not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be ladylike. So we keep embedding these things in our heads as children. So when you're older, if a grown man is crying, they're like this, instead of, oh, what's wrong? How do you feel? Is everything all right? Instead of that, what? He's crying? Like, okay, like, what? He's a wuss. But it's like, what happened to the compassion and sympathetic? We're supposed to be like, but if a girl is crying, okay, we're going to find out what's wrong. But if the guy is crying, no, he's a bitch. He doesn't know how to control his emotions. But that's wrong. What, he's supposed to go and punch and break things? It's like, that's not controlling emotions.
At all.
That's counterproductive.
Exactly.
At least if you cry and everything, you're not hurting nobody. You're there. But, obviously you want support, and support should be there. And we shouldn't frown upon, like anybody crying, like, regardless, man, woman, anything. You shouldn't, we should always be there and try to find out what's wrong, try to help people like that, and I always come back to this. That's why I started this podcast, because I want to help people. Maybe, like, who am I? Like, I'm nobody. I'm just here trying to have a good conversation with my friends, and and try to enlighten somebody. Maybe you take something out of it, or you feel a bit better. You're having a shitty day. Hopefully my voice is able to soothe you.
That's it, right? Like with these pictures, people keep asking me, Babs, why? Just tell me why, And I'm like, look, if I can save one life, if I can stop that one person from jumping off that bridge, or from, strapping up an AR or whatever, or, taking a U-Haul and taking down people, like,
just stop that.
Just stop. If I can help one person to say, what, no, not today. Today will not be the day it gets me. Well, then I'll be happy. Then I will have done what I feel like I have needed to do with these pics. Like,
exactly. And any way, and it's not always talking or whatever action. It's just any way you could communicate, because everyone learns differently.
This is it.
And coming back from work today, I was talking to one of my best friends. We're driving, and and like, he had a discussion with somebody else, and he's like, oh man, I learned a lot from that discussion. I'm like, guys, if I told you that, it wouldn't make sense coming from my perspective. Like, not in a bad way. I'm just like, it just wouldn't mean as much. But now it came from somebody else, it meant more, because that other person is standing there catching what's going on. And he might be able to explain it better because he understands. Maybe I didn't understand enough, and who am I to tell you? Because you know how I act with you all the time. So, and if I say something differently, it doesn't make sense, because I'm not used to saying those things.
Yeah.
So, John, we'll go through your photos one by one, because they came out very amazing. Every time I look at these photos, not in a bad way, you look like a Batman villain. I don't know. It's not a bad thing for me. It's just like, it's just...
It definitely has that Arkham Asylum type feel to it. Yeah. A few people have said that to me. Yeah.
I think we want too many... If anybody asks me to read 2-minute comic books.
Yeah, I think Suicide Squad Part 2 was the best quote I got.
yes. No, but we call it. So I went through the photos, and I gave my perspective last time, but I really want to get your perspective on these photos, and I'm gonna have these today. When I'm done this podcast, I'm gonna take my time, edit it properly. So this time, everyone. Last time I said the photos were gonna be up, but I didn't put them up. It just wasn't finished because
it wasn't finished yet.
As an artist, I know it too. If it's not perfect, you don't want to upload it. So
it's so true too. And I would never have guessed how layered the process is in terms of photoshopping and making sure everything's clean. And God bless her, Wendy's a phenomenal. She's
because I noticed.
I don't want to use the word anal because it sounds bad, but she's anal for that, and I love that because
I believe it because I'm the same way, man. If I know I'm doing something and it's not like if me personally doing a project, because if I do anything for my parents and I don't do a good job, so it's kind of being lazy about it. My parents will get me on it. What? Why? No, like this. You shouldn't have even done it anyways. But when I'm working on my own projects, I know it's kind of selfish, but like when I'm drawing or whatever, I need to make sure it's perfect. If it's not, I'm gonna crumple the paper and just restart. I won't.
100%, man. I was on my way over here tonight, and she called me up. She goes, "I got some more stuff for you for a podcast." I'm like, I really don't. She goes, No. She goes, "I finished it up. I'm like, it's really okay, Wendy. Don't worry about it. And she's like, no, this stuff's awesome. Come get it right now." So I was okay. I'll come get it. Because it is. I mean, her stuff's phenomenal. I seen
her name, and when I was looking over the photos, I see her name in the corner of each photo, and give her a touch.
Yeah,
and then your touch too, because your body and you worked your image, dude. Super jacked, man.
It's a gift and a curse.
So what's the curse part?
Well, the curse is that it might take away from the message I'm trying to send. Like a lot of feedback I'm getting from these pics is that people are like, "Wow, John, you're jacked." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." And I thank you. And it was crazy hard work to do that, But that really wasn't what I was going for,
I showed a few people at my work. I'm like, "Oh, this is my friend John." Like, "Oh my God, he's so jacked." I'm like, "Nobody don't know. This is what the image meant."
Yeah,
Damn, how did he get his muscles?
Yeah, exactly. I lose so many people in that conversation. It's so fucked up.
You should have put on a T-shirt, John.
I thought about, and it's funny, Mo, because a lot of these images that we did go finalize with, I had originally planned to be naked. Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm thanking God that Wendy was like, "John, you should put some pants on because it's going to change the way things are." Like,
because now people might be focused more down there.
This is it, right? So, and thankfully I did, but
you balance it.
But and again, I'm not trying to be upset about. Like, I'm so appreciative of all the positivity that I've been getting from it. And yes, I did work, and I still do work crazy hard in the gym to maintain that kind of physique without steroids. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'll take that one.
Yeah. For anybody there, you could do it with hard work and determination.
And I am the living proof, man. I am 39 years old, 2 kids, full-time job. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. I have a rare cholesterol disease. Like, I have every excuse possible. You know what I mean? Like,
but you don't let those excuses.
I don't know.
You keep jumping over those hurdles.
That's right. And I don't put needles in my ass. For anybody who needed confirmation out there, these are clean. I am clean. I have dabbled in steroids, yes, years and years ago.
Yeah. But what about for those, it's me, I don't know too much about steroids. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about those people? Because I always hear, on podcasts, "Oh, if you took it before, it stays in your system," or you know what I mean? Like, people talk about it. I know, I listen to Joe Rogan and stuff like that. Like, because like with all those athletes and getting busted, like, "Oh, it's not fair. It takes so much time to get it out of your system." Would you be able to just kind of enlighten me, John? Like,
definitely.
So give me an insight. Yeah.
I personally don't. I mean, I don't condone it, nor do I. Am I against it? Like, yes, I tried it. It didn't have the effects I was looking for. It didn't work for me. So I something that I didn't want to continue with.
Yeah, okay.
I will say this about steroids. Kids, get off it. Like, guys, seriously. You want to try it in your 30s when your nervous system is a little bit more mature and your body's settled in?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go ahead, play with it. But beforehand, I don't suggest it. I mean, the male testosterone levels are already super high as it is. Most of us older men do steroids to try to maintain those levels that the kids already have.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense for you guys to be pumping up all of these, hormones for no reason. You don't know the long-term effects.
Yeah.
Your body hasn't finished developing yet. You don't want to risk it shutting down production of testosterone altogether.
Yeah.
There are just so many unknowns.
Exactly. Yeah.
So many.
And you're playing that game. Okay, look, be honest. I remember I contemplate so many times.
Yeah, of course.
Because, it's just like...
It's tempting. Come on.
I just want to be jacked. Just
every guy wants to be jacked, right?
And like, there's so many times where I'm like so ready. I'm about to do it. Like, no, like I never purchased it, but I'm like, I'm so eager. I'm going to do it. But then later, like, I talk myself out of it. Okay, I'm not looking long term. Maybe when I'm older, who knows? Because, I did a whole bunch of research.
Good.
And before, like, okay, yes, you'll see all that growth super fast, but what happens in the long term when I'm 50 or 60, who knows if I even live that long, right? Because I'm shorting my life because, maybe when you have kids and stuff, you want to try to prolong that life. You can't anymore. It's too late because, and those are the things I'd always battle in my head. Do I like that? Oh man, but I just want to look jacked, man. I don't want to look big. But I'm like this, but for how long? You know what I mean?
This is it, because you're renting it. You're really renting it.
Yeah.
Like it's not something you're gonna keep, especially at this age. You know what I mean? Your early 20s, you're not gonna keep it. You're gonna swell up and down for no real reason but to damage your insides.
Yeah.
I try to explain to these kids that if I said to you, rewire your entire house without any handbook, without any do-it-yourself app, without any half-an-hour tutorial, and do you feel comfortable with that? Like, is that something you would approach and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do? I could rewire my entire house with absolutely no education whatsoever. Well, if you have that straight confidence, then go ahead, do steroids, because that's what you're doing. You are messing up with wiring in your body that you have no idea how it functions. And even the best doctors today haven't quite figured out the human body. And you feel that you know it so well that you can just throw chemicals at it at a very early age, completely, messing it up altogether. If you feel confident in making that decision, well, then go ahead, do steroids. I mean, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to, I can suggest to the kids and every kid in the gym that asks me about it, I tell them the same thing. Like, if you can hold off, if you can find some way to convince your brain that you don't need this stuff, then please don't. Like, you don't need it.
And that goes back on that emotions thing we're talking about.
There it is.
Because now, emotionally, I'm gonna feel good. Everyone, everyone's gonna look at me, all this. But are you gonna feel good about yourself? You know what
exactly. I mean? And that's why I always bring it back to that emotion. I always try to remind them that if you can sleep at night with this in your mind, if you can handle this emotionally, then go right ahead. That's fine. Because at the end of the day, it's your emotions that will dictate whether you can do this or whether you can't do this. And that's what it comes down to.
No, exactly. I agree with you, John. No, thank you very much for that. No, but dude, that makes perfect sense. And and it comes back to perspective again. And people are like, what is this guy talking about? He doesn't know. Like, I understand my body. He doesn't understand my body. But that was a perfect analogy. Because, do we know what we're really putting in our system? You're gonna can you rewire your own house without any tutorials or any of that? Like, if you can't. You know what I mean? Then you shouldn't be taking steroids because you're going to end up rewiring your body. Because like from my readings and we were watching a lot of YouTube and from different people discussing about steroids when they're like by your 30s you lose your many people will lose testosterone. Like, it doesn't mean it's going to happen because it plays games. Everyone's bodies are wired differently.
That's right.
And different effects. You have you stop producing steroids, maybe you grow man tits, or your dick shrinks. You know what I mean? All those things play a factor,
huge factor.
But you don't even know any of those. You know what I mean?
And look at all these wrestlers who are killing themselves.
Yeah.
And why you think that is? Because their career's over?
No.
Well, partly, but mostly the down from all the steroids they were on.
Like, rest in peace, Chris Benoit. What happened? That tragic incident. You know what I mean? And he was super. Taking steroids and all that stuff, and everyone's mind works differently. Anything you do, it works differently. Like, same way, maybe not to that same extent in terms of giving compliments or saying something bad. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe somebody, like, it goes back to what you're saying. Maybe somebody's having a shitty day and you use words. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Yeah, you said it any other day, you told him to fuck off, nothing might have happened. But maybe that one day you told him to fuck off, and it just boom.
Yep.
It just snaps, and they end up doing something they regret. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Same way as giving somebody a compliment. Maybe somebody went to go take their life, but you told, dude, man, you're an awesome friend. They're like, boom, it just clicked in the head. Oh, he said I was an awesome friend, and you probably saved a life that day. Words, everything. So everything is a factor.
I'll give you a small example. At the gym, I do this every day, Mo. I go to the gym every day.
I see you all the time. I haven't been there this week.
But I am a stealth hello thrower. What I mean by that is the water fountain is a phenomenal environment. Okay,
I only have one too.
You know what I'm saying? We've only got one, right? So I love our water fountain situation because it forces people to have to interact with each other, right? And it's in a moment when they're in their zone. They've got their headphones on. They're in the middle of their workout. They're either loving themselves or they're hating themselves, depending on how the workout's going, right? And I can catch them in their most unexpected moment. They'll walk by me, I'll walk by them, and I'll throw them a quick little what's up, little head nod.
Yeah.
And people's egos won't allow them because they're in the zone, right? They're trying to be serious. They're all full of blood. They're all swole up. They're all sweating and shit. They're all like, and they're confused because they're not like, did he say hi to me? Does he have Tourette's? Is it a twitch? Like, I see his fingers swivel around, so I know he's a little bit crazy, but like I'm confused. Right? And then I'll catch him a second time, and I'll throw him another little, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
No vocals, no nothing, just a little head nod, you know. And by the third time that I've crossed this person at the water fountain, they're now throwing the what's up back. Okay. Now the same person who I have now victimized, for lack of a better word, next week is now throwing me a fist bump. Okay. I could go months without knowing this person's name.
Yeah.
But this person will now say hello to me every day and every time we see each other. Now, what did it cost me? Nothing, right? It cost me absolutely nothing to do that, right? But I might have made that guy feel
a lot better.
Because he might have been having a shitty day. Or maybe not that day. Maybe the day after that, he might have been having a shitty day. And he saw me and turned was like, hey, what's up? And I know it sounds stupid. It sounds minuscule. But it's life. It's how it is. And sometimes when you're having a bad day and you turn from that water fountain and there's just that random guy who's got no reason to say hello to you, yet still takes the time to go, hey, what's up, dog? Sometimes those little Band-Aids from life help, you know? And it's those small gestures that are ripple effects in the pond of the world, you know? And that's how I like to be stealthy with things, you know? I'll hold the door open for somebody. If I know someone's 10 feet behind me, but too far for me to hold the door for them, I'll still hold the door for them.
Yeah.
And it's in those, oh, thank you. Or merci. Oh. And for 2 seconds, that person felt like that their lives weren't that shitty.
Yeah.
And if we could find some way to have that amplify over a larger scale, we could affect positive change.
Exactly. And it's so funny because, you know, talking about positive change, I always get roasted for this. They're like, oh, man, I can't have days where, like, I'm not allowed criticizing anything anymore.
God forbid.
Because if I do it, it's like, dude, you're so negative, man. I'm like, what the hell?
What's going on? You're such a hypocrite.
I'm like, fuck, man. Like, what do you want to, like, to keep, like, I can't say anything no more. It's like, look, I try. And, like, in my terms of positivity, what it actually means, helping somebody else.
That's
right. I'm not trying to go... I'm not being positive doesn't mean you're a yes man. Saying yes to everything.
You know, we're not Anthony Robbins. We're not all teeth. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, it's so funny.
No hating on Anthony Robbins.
Yeah, John's not hating, man.
No hate.
But yeah, man, it goes like my brother loves doing it. My cousin loves doing it because anytime maybe I say something like, you know, we have those times where we're just hanging out, just talking shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, man, you're so negative, bro. I'm like this. I'm like, what? I'm like, look, I'm not negative because being negative would be like, dude, you suck. You can't do anything in life. You know, you're not going. That's right. That's what I consider being negative.
Me too.
Not like, oh shit, fuck you, man. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being negative. We're just having a conversation. We're playing around.
That's right.
You know, we're having a fun time, because you know what's negative. It's like, let's say I go into Tim Hortons and I don't know the person, and somebody gives me my coffee. Fuck you. Have a shitty day. That's being negative.
That's negative.
That's negative. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, that's not what I go do. I don't go out of my way to go make people feel like shit. And when you're making somebody feel bad or you're disrupting something, that's being negative.
Yeah, man.
If we're just talking or whatever, or having a conversation, we're joking around, it's like, I'm not going out of my way to be negative. My terms of positivity is I want to help people feel better. So if like, let's say you're struggling to do something, I'm not going to say you can't do it. You could do it. Just work harder. It's like, I'm here. If you need support, I'll help you support as much as I can. But I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to pull you down and saying you can't do it, because that's being negative. You can't do that. Don't even bother trying. Forget about it. That's being negative.
And that's stigma.
It's stigma.
And those are the chains that I'm trying to break.
And so what do you call it? So John, we sidetracked
so
much.
Back to the woo.
So now the photos are going to be up right now. So here, this part of the video, the photo should be up. So John, this is the first photo. Right? I don't know if you could see.
Actually, the first photo I'd like is let's go with
this one. Yeah. The name of it. You want to go with the name?
There we go.
Okay. So
no. Could we go with the
technical issues?
No face. Yeah, sorry. My apologies.
No
apologies. I wasn't ready.
So this one is the no face one.
Yeah, no face one.
So John, I want to ask. So this photo is you chained up. Well, you can't see your face. You're being chained up by the hospital associate. So the thought process behind this photo, like, why did you want to cover your face, and what was the meaning behind this specific photo?
Well, we kind of zoomed in a bit for this shot because we wanted to focus on the fact that I was being tied up and that I was allowing them to tie me up. I walked into the hospital at 28 voluntarily. I wasn't dragged in kicking and screaming. When my wife at the time had told me that we were pregnant, I had walked in the hospital and said I need help. Explained for many reasons as to why I needed help, and through months of testing, they finally had said, "Okay, Mr. Babb, you are bipolar phase 2, and here's what that means." So being the kid who walked through the tunnels to get to school in the morning, I witnessed these patients walking around aimlessly, drooling and developing my own stigmas in my mind, like, oh my God, these people are crazy and this is retarded.
Instead of taking the time to, like, at that time, you know what I mean?
And I'm young, right?
You were young.
And my family had worked there, so we were told how to deal with them. And it wasn't via emotion. It was via need of the chest, boom, be assertive, they will respond in such a way, so so we were taught to not empathize with them. We were taught to not feel. We were taught to just deal with them, so that's what it became, this stigma, this, okay, well, this person looks like this, so that means that they're crazy and this and that, and then boom, this is how you deal with them, So now at 28, walking in this building going, yo, these are where those people are. And this is where that stigma is. And this is where all that craziness is. And here I am walking in, wanting to be a part of this. Do I want a part of all this? Like,
and it's scary at that time too, right?
Like, I'm about to be a father on top of that. Like, I got the whole world's weight on my shoulders. And here I am thinking, do I want this on top of that? Like,
Yeah, and it goes back to what you were talking about all that stress, you know what I mean? Now you have so many different things happening all at once. And what can you absorb? Everything is coming, boom, boom, boom.
I'm scared as hell. I'm 39. I'm still scared. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I walked in, I voluntarily knew what they were going to eventually do to me one day. And okay, fine. I didn't expect them to physically chain me up.
Yeah, but mentally.
But mentally, this is what I was giving them: the permission to chain me, the permission for them to give the rest of the world permission. Sorry, let me rephrase that. To give the rest of the world permission to judge me at the moment's notice. And it happens, Mo, every time. I could be talking to someone for half an hour, 45 minutes, go on and on and on and on. And then once I tell them, oh yeah, by the way, I'm bipolar, I can see the way their perception changes of me, the way they treat me, the way they speak to me. Everything about their demeanor changes altogether. And that's because of the chains of stigma. That's because right away they have a preconceived notion as to, oh shit, he's bipolar.
So, and this is why you didn't show your face in this one?
This is it, because it wasn't about so much so as to who it's happening to, as much as it is about the fact that it's happening to all of us.
Yeah.
It's faceless. Stigma is faceless. It happens to everybody. We all in one way or another experience stigma. And it's not about mental health either. It's about race. It's about gender. It's about equality. You name it. Religion. You name it. Stigma is all over it. Stigma's phenomenal for that. It's not racist at all. Like it's it's out there hating everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And that's a very powerful message, after you explain it, because that's why I said I want to get your interpretation of it, because, everyone will have their interpretation, but I want to get it from the source, and you're the source. And, and it gives me a better understanding too, and hopefully the audience as well, they're taking the time to look over this photo. Okay, so this one is just so that negative stigma, faceless, it doesn't have to be classified anyway.
That's right.
We just put, it's a chain.
It's like those amusement park situations where they have those cardboard like still standing frames with like an image and holes where you can poke your head through and take a picture on the other side.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, but nobody wants to put their head through that photo. Nobody wants to be, let's just take a picture with stigma. Nobody wants that image, because nobody wants to carry those weights. Nobody wants to break those chains.
And so it makes sense. So the chains anchor it down heavier.
That's right. That's right.
So what was the next one after?
The next one will be either strength or conflict.
We'll start with conflict, then
Sure.
we'll talk about the strength.
Yeah, let's go conflict. Conflict 2.
I'm blind over here. Yeah, so this one.
Yes.
This one was the one you could put next to Batman, and you know what I mean? This was an amazing photo. So this one, I'll give you my interpretation, then I want to get it.
Sounds good.
So this one is like, look, I chained myself down. Look, I'm locked. This is what I feel. It's like, I need help. I'm chained here. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like you are.
That's right.
I'm human as well.
That's right.
I'm chained up, because with this negative stigma holding me down.
That's right.
But look at me. I'm human.
And my hands are open.
My hands are open.
Help me.
Help me.
No matter how strong I may appear, no matter how, colossal I might look in that situation, we're all vulnerable. We're all in situations where our hands are out.
Yeah.
We need help. We even no matter how society views us, or how people might see us on the outside.
Yeah.
We're all like, I'm still that little boy looking for his mom. And I still call myself that, Mo.
Yeah.
Like I'm 39 years old. I'm a father of 2.
Yeah. And
I am still that little boy looking for an unconditional type love.
Yeah.
And and that's what that image speaks to me. It's help me help us. I want to break these chains just as bad as you do, but if we don't work together, it doesn't matter how strong we are independently, right? That's how come I'm jacked, but the chain still got me, because it doesn't matter how strong we are individually, unless we tag up and team up and do it together, we'll never break the chains.
Exactly. Because you can't open the chains by yourself.
No.
You need somebody to come help you. And that's where you have your arms open. Don't be scared of this negative stigma.
That's right. And the chains come from everyone.
Yeah.
So the only way to break the chains is to convince everyone there are no chains.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like
exactly.
it's only with the stigma come the chains. So if you can break the stigma, there would be no chains.
There are no chains. Ooh, I told you, smart man.
And if you really want to get that deep about it, the chains of stigma, every chain is only as strong as the weakest link. And the weakest link in every chain, chain of stigma is emotion. If you can find the emotion or the heartbeat or of every chain of stigma, you can break it. And every chain's got it. Every stigma has it. If you break it down long enough, you can come down to someone's emotion that wasn't addressed.
No, powerful message, man. And then okay, so and then after this, so we're gonna go to the strength.
Yeah, it's similar to conflict.
This one. So now you have your head up. Look, I'm here. I'm powerful enough. I'm not gonna let these chains weigh me down. That's my interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
And your interpretation, John,
is exactly that. Saying, not only am I asking for your help, but I'm showing you that I'm not going to leave you be, no matter you chained or not. they will try to hold me down, but they won't. And if we all act like that, if we all take that approach to it, then the chains are nothing compared to us.
Exactly. You're letting like that negative stigma is nothing. It's
That's
like,
right.
you know, be strong, you know,
That's right.
fight that negative stigma. But here in this specific photo, look at the lighting here. So that, because it is a different lighting from the other one.
Yeah.
It's a more brighter lighting.
That's
is
right.
it because it's supposed to be a happier
That's
message?
right. You noticed that, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, look
I noticed,
at you,
I told
eh?
you, man. No, because you allowed me to look at these photos beforehand, you know,
Yeah.
and, you know, thank you very much. You know, it gave me time to, you know, because I'm not a person that I'm shitty at writing notes. I'm a visual person. It just clicks in my head and lets it flow naturally, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to take it for what it is, because, you know, I like getting out of that. No, man, I'm done with books. I'm like done with writing. I just like let it flow naturally.
I hear you.
And so then after that, John. So now.
But yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, Mo, because the lighting was a big part of it, because it goes from a cold to a bit of a warmth.
Yeah,
it
because
definitely goes.
But the colder one gives it that more vulnerable feeling. It's like,
That's right.
look, come, please,
Help me.
And then this one is more bright lighting.
Yeah.
Allowing, look, forget this negative stigma. I'm going to put my head up. The
Yeah.
light is shining. You know, if I feel strong, because, you know, is those power, because we have those symbolisms, right? When the light means hope and everything.
That's right.
This is hope. I have hope that these chains won't keep me held down.
See, and hope, I'm glad you said that, because in the next photo, hope is key.
So which one is the next one? This one?
Yeah.
Help me. Okay, so see, now we see how it's playing. So
That's right.
from looking straight at with the light, you know, not letting those chains hold you down. Now it's like, look, now we're letting it slow. So this is my interpretation. So letting it slow. So my brain doesn't work sometimes, but, you know, trying to let go of those negative stigmas. You know, because the first photos, please come help me.
Yeah.
Once they come, look, the chains are nothing. You know, we're not gonna let it weigh me down. Now look at me. Now help me escape this negative stigma that you put me inside, that they put you inside, right?
Yeah. Well,
That not you.
well,
You
that I voluntarily went and got.
But you know what I mean, in terms of the negative stigma of mental health. You know, don't let it play a factor. Help me get rid of this negative stigma, like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As a society, because like you said, as a society, it's so easy to paint pictures on things we don't understand.
That's right.
I mean, leave this stigma. So let's forget about that. Help me out, and let's forget that there's even a stigma, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, you're on the right path.
Okay, so now I'll let you interpret it better for me.
It's a very vulnerable position. The sunshine beating down, the hope we mentioned.
Yeah.
The definition of insanity, if you look it up, is the repetition of a single act, expecting a different result. Okay. I was going about life the same way, over and over again, self-medicating, avoiding what was really the problem, expecting different results to come every time, right? Because I didn't want to admit what was truly going on. You go and get diagnosed. They turn to you and say, you're crazy.
Because you went to diagnose yourself.
And they confirm that. And for lack of a better term, you know, you're crazy, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, I stopped repeating an act over and over again, expecting a different result. And I was still called crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Exactly. So as much as the hope shines down, and that's why I'm looking up at it, you know, still chained. As hopeful as we can be, this was once called the untreatable disease. There's no cure for this. This is a lifelong journey. And that has to be part of the acceptance. That has to be part of the therapy, to know that this is forever. This is like herpes. You ain't getting rid of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no topical cream. There's no like.
No, you have it forever.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's old luggage. You're stuck with that shit. You know, like. So it's important to understand that as strong as I get, and even if I break these chains, I will always be bipolar. I will always struggle with that mainstream of that living, knowing that we're crazy, yet wanting to live a life that doesn't make us crazy. You know, it's being self-aware on an immense level. And that's where I found this angle was good, because it shone, the sunlight hit me in a spot where, I will forever fight the stigma, and it will never get the best of me, but it will always be a part of me, and as hopeful as we can be, we have to understand that, it's part of us.
Yeah, so yeah, but from my, now I understand the true meaning behind it. So when I was looking at the photo, it looked like help me out. You know,
please
help me. Like
yes.
that's what I got. Help me out. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm human.
You
I'm
dealt
weak.
Yeah, I might look super jacked, but
but that's the thing, and that's what I wanted to show at all this.
Even though I'm so strong,
right?
Mentally, it's another fight.
But this is it. People look at me all the time. How could you be bipolar, John? Look at you. I'm like, what does that mean?
It doesn't mean.
And that's why I wanted to show this, because it's like, yes, I'm physically strong. Yes, I'm in incredible shape, but I could not be more weak. I could not be more vulnerable. I could not be more lost,
And it's so powerful, our brains, because right before you came, me and my brother were just talking, we were just having a conversation, and I tell him, I understand the struggles. You're like, actually, I don't really understand the struggles you're going through, but everyone else is going through different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to tell somebody, look, I'm going through worse, and you don't understand. But when your brain takes over and you start overthinking, you try so hard to try to make sense of everything, and you're like, no, look, I know I'm good. I know I have everything. I know I'm healthy enough. I could go do these things, but this other thing just playing factor and just messing with your mind even more and more. Like this week, I wasn't having the best week. The only good thing this week was looking forward to this podcast, to be honest.
Me too.
And also my One Piece chapter. Those are the two things that I look forward to, looking forward to. But like, I remember this week was a whatever week. I was like, I wasn't there. I was overthinking everything. Like somebody said something, I was just like, then I started thinking about that, then another thing, and I was like, oh my God, okay, I need to go to sleep, work, next routine, go back to work, boom, 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 come home the same. And like, I wasn't there. My mind wasn't there. I was just like, but when I seen you at the gym, I told you, you always put a big smile on me when I see it's cheesy. Like there's few
not
people.
Cheesy, man. It's good.
I feel the good energy right away. We see each other. Boom! It's a big smile. It's very genuine. It just happens, Yep. I went yesterday. I seen one of my friends. It's so funny. So I was laughing a lot because I didn't see him in a while. One of my closest friends. He was working, and then I seen him serving somebody, and he was just like, he had a resting bitch face. No, I'm sorry, man. Like if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but whatever. He just had like a nonchalant face where he didn't care, just doing his job. Serving the customer. And then as soon as he see me, dude, the biggest smile ever. It's just like, boom. Like, I was like, what? Yeah. It made me feel so good, and I seen his expression change in an instant. He was just like, oh, like from that to not giving a fuck face to, dude, my friend, like biggest smile. And those little things,
that's what
make a big difference.
Man. That's what it's about. Those small little, reminders that we're alive, that life is not, just chaos and routine and struggle and bills and, it's those small human moments, that
make us feel good. Those feel good moments,
exactly.
Man. And we appreciate those. We have to appreciate those feel good.
That's what we have, man. That's all we have.
There's so much stress around everywhere. You know what I mean? And we don't want those things consuming us. When our brain. When all those, you let those stressful things take over, it's it's so hard to try to fight those things. That's why you need to have good people around. You build those relationships, and you try to put value to them, and you want to help people. Helping people is, I swear, that's the best medicine for anything. You make anybody feel better, you'll feel better automatically.
And it's funny that, we know this.
but we don't do it.
But no, we never do it. We never do. Because when we do get that chance to experience that moment of that helping someone and feel that buzz and that rush, it's like, oh, wow. And then it's gone.
It's gone.
It's funny. We feel an orgasm for 10 seconds and we chase that shit for life.
Yeah.
We feel a happy buzz of helping somebody and we never chase that buzz.
No.
You know, because we're not driven to chase that buzz. We're not driven to be better people.
Because it's not pushed because of everything around us in the media.
That's right.
That's not what we see every day.
No, because why?
They get overshone, or just they find ways to turn it around. Oh, look, he's helping somebody. Oh, he just wants publicity.
That's right.
How easy to turn that positive thing into a negative thing. And, it's just so easy to turn a negative thing. You're not trying to, he just helped somebody. You should feel like, I should go help somebody.
Exactly.
Feel better instead of trying to criticize. You know why? Because people don't want to help other people. So it's so easy to say, that guy just wants publicity.
And your attempt at helping others just mirrors their lack of attempt in itself. Like they don't want to be shown up. They don't want to. But he's doing now. What should I be doing? How come I'm not doing anything? And rather than make an attempt themselves, they'd rather shoot us down.
Yeah.
Like as I was speaking before we got on air, with my family.
Yeah.
Never mind the help I'm trying to, put forth.
Help others.
Never mind that. No, it's still making the family look bad. Like
that wasn't your message.
That's never been my message. Never will be my message. You know what I mean? Like, because that's not a message. Like,
like that,
you know what I mean?
Not a you want to help. That's the big message. Let's look at the bigger picture here.
I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be exposing myself like this.
Yeah.
Why?
If you weren't trying to help.
If I wasn't trying to help somebody, and their first inclination is to, he makes the family look bad. It's and that's how tough it is.
Yeah.
It's even in our own families, that's how close it is to us. And that's how hard it is for us to remain positive.
Yeah.
Because even the closest to us, our blood, the ones who you think would be protecting us and the first to promote us or to big us up. No. It's the complete opposite, my friend,
But you're fighting, you know what I mean? And all of us going through these challenges, and we have a bigger picture in mind, and we have to keep going with it. We can't let the other things, like you said, the ripple effect, can't let those other things affect us.
No.
Trying to go after that end goal of helping people, because there's a greater good to be done, and the bigger picture is you want to help people and help you make a change in society, make society a better place. Make it a better place for everyone to live in. Everyone feel comfortable.
That's what it's about, man. It's being inclusive, is that we all have to feel comfortable. We all have to understand that there are basic things we all need to survive. And until we can nail those basic things, then we're going to be chasing our tails. We're going to be shooting ourselves in Las Vegas. We're going to be stabbing ourselves in Edmonton, and it's not going to matter who's going to be doing the stabbing or who's going to be getting stabbed. The fact of the matter is, it's going to be continuing to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can point fingers and say, it's because of this, because of them, because of them, because of who, because of how, because it's still happening for a reason. And
we have to find ways to show people, look, let's care, let's love.
That's it.
That should be shown more than all that gruesome things. It's so messed up because I remember I forgot which guest Joe Rogan had, because they were talking about the Las Vegas shooting, and they kind of put it in a ranking, you know what I mean? Now it kind of puts somebody else in their mindset, I want to beat that ranking. It's fucked up. It's a really fucked up logic. You're putting it, oh, look, this was that guy was second place, now this guy's first place. But, you're kind of putting these wrong images in people's mindset, people they don't understand, you know what I mean? And they can't tell from right or wrong, whatever, in their head. It might be something fucked up. They're like, oh, now it gives them something to do. I want to beat that. But, we forget about all those things. Mm-hmm. Let's care, show love. I love how they're showing support, how everyone's helping families in Las Vegas. I was reading this morning that they're putting the names of each person. Like if it's a Christian person, put a cross, and a Jewish person, they put a Jewish star next to their names when you enter Las Vegas. Those are the positive things.
Yeah.
It's a very tragic incident, but we can't let those negative stigmas. We want to help people feel better, feel comfortable. Let's bring society as a whole. Let's try to help everyone.
Yeah, I just can't wait till we get to a point where we're no longer Like that's great that they're doing that, but why does he have to be Christian? Why does
Yeah.
one have to be Jew? Why does one have
I know
to
with
be
the labels.
like even in that, you see that even in a moment of what's supposed to be solidarity and everybody coming together and reminding of inclusiveness, you're still slapping you
labels.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's where I get a little frustrated because we are so far away from where we really need to be. Like this man opened up, and I'm saying this man because I'm not convinced it was Paddock. I'm not convinced it was the story they're trying to tell. I'm not believing it yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't change the victims.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take away from the victims and what happened to them, and that's fucked up. And I'm not saying, you know, but until we can find a way where we're all just people, you know, humans, you know, like, then we've got a lot more work to do.
Yeah,
you know
it
what
can
I mean?
be based on labels, you know.
Yeah. A lot more of these things are going to happen before, you know, we really get to understand that. Okay, never mind, you know, who eats what on what day and who eats this on this day and who doesn't eat this on this day, and you know, like it's going to take a lot more than that.
Yeah, agree. So John, sorry if it. 1 second. So after this, so we
Yes.
went through the next photo. Was after the help me was.
Yeah, let's get back to the photos. I can talk all night.
I know, man, dude.
It's terrible.
No, dude, trust me, man. I think but these conversations are amazing because you know it just gives you something to think about. It's like it just gives you perspective. Think about it. Don't react. Just think. It's like, you know what I mean. If you don't like it, whatever, you know, then just stop. You know, you don't have to listen to it. You know. But we're just here to give perspective. Just think it's just thinking. Like, you know, we're not going on emotions. Like, you know, let's put the emotions aside because, you know, it's so easy to get triggered for anything nowadays. You know what I mean? Oh, he said I love what? Yo, man, he doesn't know me. You know what I mean? Like, when people react for like the funniest things now. It's just, but let's take a moment to think about it, appreciate each moment we have, and make the most of it, and try to do something productive with it. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
And so after this, which one you want to go?
Cross chains.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. So this one, I want to get your perspective on this because
they've got me on my knees. They've switched sides on me because clearly I've adapted. Clearly I've
got comfortable with the chains.
I've given them a reason to have to change things up, right? Stigma won't let up. It's not going to go away. Right? You're going to try to make a move. You're going to try to be adversive with it, and it's going to dodge. It's going to bob. It's going to weave. It's a devilish target, right? Like it's not just going to sit there and be like, okay, yeah, you can break the chains. Okay, no problem. Sure. Okay. No, it's going to bob. It's going to fight back. So I wanted to show an image where I'm, you know, trying to deal with it, trying to deal with the hope looking down upon me, trying to find ways to get myself free. And every time I do, what do? They switch sides, you know, like flipping the script, for lack of a better terms, which is what life does for you. As you mentioned before, how a positive act can be viewed so negatively so quickly. You know what I mean? And we have to be prepared for that and understand that, you know, the game has changed. You know, they're pulling us in all different directions now. It isn't just the left and the right. You know, it's a sleight of hand, right? You know, it's aggressive.
Yeah, it's not as easy, you know what I mean?
And the harder you put up a fight, the more the fight's going to get harder.
And so that's why the chains came from a different angle.
They crossed over,
making it harder.
Well, that's it, right? Because if you think about it, if you're fighting chains from one side, it's one thing. But if they crisscross, you're screwed now. Because your torque, your momentum is backwards.
Yeah.
They have the upper hand now. So that was why I wanted to take this. This was actually one of my favorites, the cross chains. It's and it was painful too. But what you're not seeing on my face here is that they were really pulling really hard.
Oh, they're actually pulling.
Yeah, I told them, like, guys, give her, you know, like I wanted the image to be real, you know.
So
like,
how long did it take? You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you this, Mo. This was shot on a Monday. Okay,
a Monday.
I'm telling you, I could not get
on a Monday too.
This was shot on a Monday. I'm not lying. On a Monday.
Already we're dealing with a Monday stigma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a shitty Monday. Now let's
I took it all on, man. I took every stigma on that day.
So what do you call it? But how long did it take?
By the end of
the shop.
By the end of the week, I got some of the feeling back in my arms because it wasn't like I had shackles there. This was straight chains locked up around, and I told the guys, I'm like, tie it up so that I can't move. Like I want this to be legit. You know?
Real as it possible.
This is it exactly. So I mean, and we're at the hospital, right? Which, by the way, I'm glad that this came up. I want to give a huge shout out to Ray Barilaro. Okay, this man made this possible. Like, he took what I had in loose leaf and concept and ideas, and he was like, okay, I know exactly where you need to go. You have to do this. Boom, 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 boom. This is perfect for this. You don't need this. You don't need that. He was key, and I mean key, in making this happen. So
shout out to Ray.
Shout out to Ray Barilaro. I'm going to have his contact info on this with these pics. And on my Instagram site too. Shout out to the Douglas Hospital for all the support. I can't thank you guys enough. They only said no to one possible thing, and it was an image that hopefully one day I can convince them to let me take. But other than that one image, both the hospital and Ray were outstanding. I cannot speak enough about the support they gave to me.
No, thank you very much to them.
Oh, thank you.
To let them, let you portray all these masterpieces.
Yes.
That I see. And to Wendy, your photographer.
Yes.
You can't forget about her.
Yes, never. I'll hopefully do some more work with her in the future.
No, for sure, dude. Calvin Klein model, you. I seen some of those photos. I'm like, damn, man.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see. They're getting a lot of positive feedback for that. So yes, maybe you might see me modeling something. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't know. Anyways,
the internet is a crazy place.
It is a crazy place, my friend.
And then I think we have one more. Right?
Yeah, we have the last one.
Which one is it?
It's I believe this bad boy over here. Yes.
Bam. So now,
and again, I had these guys pulling on me. I wanted to make sure that it
when
was
they get afraid, they're like this, they pull too hard.
What's that?
Weren't they afraid to pull too hard? Or
well, they did say they did sign waiver. Had me sign waivers first and be like,
we pull you, John.
If you do go crazy, but no, I'm kidding.
Like you can't put legal action on me. No, but what call it? So not only these play a powerful message, also it's like it shows how strong you are, as well, because you actually went out of your way to get chained up and. Dude, I never, it's like, damn, like I could imagine, because holding chains they're very heavy, and imagine having them wrapped around your wrist. Oh my God.
40 feet of it. 20 feet on one side, 20 feet on the other.
Damn.
40 feet of chain. Yeah, and it wasn't no light. It wasn't for props purposes. This was real full blown heavyweight chain. Like, it was crazy. But you know what? It did. Like I say, I wanted the images to be legit. I wanted everything to look and feel like it was heavy and dark and scary. And I mean, these were shot on location at the hospital, in spots I never would have found without Ray. Like Ray was like, I know exactly where you want to be for these, and he showed me this room, and it was like, oh my God, like. And
that was the room that you had prepared.
Yes, the majority of the shots were taken in that very room. Yeah, there were a few other ones, but the majority of the pics were taken in that crawl space, for lack of a better word.
So that photo. So while you're chained up and you're looking up, because now it gives it from a different perspective.
That's right.
So what is that? The message behind that photo?
To never stop giving up for hope. To never stop, even though you know full well these chains are with you for life. You can't ever stop looking out for hope. You can't.
And you always keep your head up.
Always, man. I got 2 little girls. And unfortunately, my 2 suicide attempts were while one of those girls were actually alive.
Oh.
So, like, I was in a bad spot, man. And I can't ever go to that spot again and have to remember that. Like I got 2 little girls who are constantly going to look up to me. And chains or no chains. That's no excuse. Like that's not an excuse, you know? Like, so I have to constantly understand that these chains will never stop pulling me down, but I can never stop searching for that hope. I can never stop looking towards the light, and as corny as that sounds, as sheepish and as, Steven Spielberg as that sounds.
But that's the truth.
It's the truth.
You always have to keep your head up.
You have to, man.
And, it's the same thing. I always try to explain to people, if something's bad, whatever, like keep your head up.
Yeah.
Fight. We
have to, man.
We have to, because life's hard, but you know what I mean? Like life's not easy, but the most rewarding things are the challenges in life and how we overcome them. Because if
Mhm.
everything was easy, you lose appreciation for everything
Immediately.
because there's no meaning. There's like, oh, you're like, you going back to the first thing we talked about. Everything that happens so fast, we lose appreciation because it happens in an instant.
That's right.
When you appreciate it and let things flow how they're supposed to flow, take your time. Like these photos, it didn't happen overnight. You
No.
took time
Yeah, man.
and more time. And
Almost
now,
2 years of work.
and look how beautiful they turned out. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
And you could see how much effort went into it. Because, if you want it fast, you lose the appreciation. You don't have a journey to talk about.
That's right.
It's like, it just got there. It just happened. Okay, you took the photos. Wow. No, this is what I went through. We took the photos. We took time detailing because we know how long it took to get this whole project underway.
Mhm.
Or like anything like this podcast. It took me 2 years to get it started. It was always an idea behind my head. I'm gonna do it. And I was like, no, I have to do it. It's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I have to do it.
There you go.
And I'm like, okay. So I told myself, finish school, and then started. And look here, we're having this conversation.
And here we are.
And these were the conversations that I want to have a lot. I would say I'm going to have different topics and everything all the time. But these are the conversations that I want to, give people some insight, let people learn about something new. Because I didn't know about, before, we recorded the first episode, I had my, perception and negative stigmas about the condition bipolar in my head, like, oh, it's anger problems or whatever, like that was my understanding before. But then I had the opportunity to sit with you, an amazing human being, and you sharing it with me. It's like I learned so much. It made me feel better because there's something that I didn't let my ignorance take over, like, no man, I don't know what, I didn't let that, I let my human side learn, understand. There's so many things to learn about, and thank you very much for the opportunity to learn so much about this. You know what I mean? I don't know if that but thank you, John.
Oh, Mo, I can't thank you enough. I mean, like as you say, right? All great things, come with that, that build up. You have to work towards them, and that's what makes them great. That appreciation is that hard work you put in, to go back to think about these pics as just, at like notes in a book, to now looking at them on your laptop, and here we are, discussing them, as real as it's become, it's almost surreal, because
it actually happened.
It happens, yeah. Like when
it actually happened, like oh damn, like it was just a figment of imagination, and now it's a reality.
Yeah, here we are, part 2. Like it's
many more to come, man.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I can't thank you enough for opening up not only your home but your heart and your mind, because I'll tell you, Mo, and I mean this when I say it. I mean everything when I say it, but if your generation could have an ounce of your optimism, of your insight, of your ability to grasp concepts, we would be in a much better place. I commend you, and I am so proud to know you and to be able to call you a friend, because assalamu alaikum, man, big time.
Thank you. Welcome salam.
Because you're wise beyond your years.
Thank you. My brother and my parents say otherwise. But I try. We all try to do it in our own ways to best of our abilities.
There you go. And I can't thank you enough for this opportunity.
Reciprocal. And, we were able to, like you said, mojo magic.
Yes, definitely.
And dude, and it was a pleasure. And, so, I think this would be a good place to end it. So I want everyone here listening, where they could find these amazing photos. So your Instagram, you said it.
Yes, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter should be all a go this weekend. So we're going to launch these 6 pics with you onto your site.
Yeah, on Instagram,
and on Instagram, yeah. And then I will also have the following. Hopefully by Sunday, I should.
You don't have the Instagram tags ready?
I have no tags whatsoever. My IP address wasn't solid.
Oh, so you mean for the site?
Yeah, for the site.
Okay.
So my consultant was like, yeah, John, I don't suggest you go looking at.
So I'll have these. So I'll have the photos uploaded as soon as what do you call it? You get the Instagram tag.
Okay.
Then I could tag you on the photos, so
Perfect.
people could link back to it right away.
Perfect.
And you're creating the website soon, right?
Yes. Well, the Facebook page is being created right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to have Twitter, obviously, just
Yeah.
for communication purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And then any more shout outs you want to give to anybody else?
I'll shout out to, like I said, the photographer Wendy. She was phenomenal. Ray, Chris, and Tommy, who were my assistants on the shoot. They were amazing. God bless both of them. And thank you for all the support and love. And to all of you out there, I say it again. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. Keep smiling, people. Keep opening the door for someone. Keep lifting your hat for a woman when she walks in the room, or like do things we used to do.
Yeah, just try to make somebody's day other than yours
There we go.
a bit better.
Pay it forward.
And then it'll just happen. It'll be a chain.
That's it. That's it.
So thank you very much again, John.
Cheers,
this was
brother.
an amazing episode to record again. Thank you once again, and peace out, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.
Much love.